What's going on, guys? Ed Butler, Brookstone Realtors, back again with another video. So today's video is going to be a little bit different from some of the other ones I put out. It's going to focus more on first-time homebuyer tips. This is something that I've been doing a lot lately over the past year. You know, I feels like with the pandemic, a lot of people thought, you know what, I want to get out of this apartment. I want to get out of this living arrangement. I want to buy something. And that's what happened a lot. And that's what's continued to happen. We're seeing a lot of first-time home buyers come in the market. So here's a few tips for you guys as you're getting started, as you're thinking about the home buying process, to know what it takes to be able to get started. So the first thing to do is going to be save. It kind of sounds, you know, pretty intuitive, but a lot of people, you know, want to buy, but they don't have money saved up. And a common misconception is you don't have to have 20% saved up. So a lot of people, you know, is kind of stuck in the old school ways, thinking that, oh, you got to have 20% down, or you can't buy a home, or, you know, I got to have tons and tons and tens and thousands of dollars to be able to purchase a home. That's not actually the case at all. I usually like my clients to have at least the down payment saved up. So if you're going, some conventional loans are 3%, but normally the FHA loan is going to be your lowest, and that's going to be at 3.5%. So if you have 3.5% of the total home price saved up, then you can purchase a home. So that's usually the minimum that I offer, that I look for. Of course, saving more than that is more preferable, right? So I would like you to have at least 5 to 7% of the home purchase price saved up, just so you know you don't have to have any hiccups along the way. You don't have to depend on down payment assistance programs or seller concessions. That leads me into my next topic, is how do I cover that gap? So if I only have 3.5% down saved up, I still going to have your costs which are called closing costs. So these are like your title company's fees, your taxes and escrow for you to, you know, start your mortgage. So in order to get these covered, a good way to do it is a down payment assistance program. Here in Michigan, one is called MISTA. So they offer, it's a state-sponsored program, and they offer up to $7,500 towards your down payment and closing costs, as long as you meet their certain requirements. And on credit, it's about a 640 credit score, and as long as you're within their income limits. The next way to overcome a shortage in savings is seller concessions. Now, I know we're in a seller's market technically right now, but there are still ways you can get creative and be able to purchase a home competitively and getting seller concessions. So seller's concessions, how it's going to work is, let's say you find a home that's been on market for a few months, 30, 60, 90 days possibly, right? And it's priced at a certain price. So let's say it's priced at $200,000, right? You say, you know, it's been sitting on market for a little while. I don't want to pay the full $200,000. Instead of coming in lower, and, you know, let's say you were going to come in at $195 as an offer price, I would say, you know, potentially come in at $200,000, but with $5,000 seller concession, right? So what this means is that you want to get that $5,000 towards your closing costs at the end, instead of taking it off your mortgage over 30 years. So it keeps a little bit more money in your pocket up front than, you know, amortizing it over the full 30-year term of your loan. But there's a ton of different ways to do it, and there's a ton of different ways to get creative with it. So that's just one, you know, small example. The second step is going to be making sure your credit's in line, right? So pre-pandemic, the requirement for just getting a loan approved was about 580 credit score, right? Since the pandemic, restrictions have come in a little bit, and it's now around 600 to 620, right? But I would suggest that you shoot for at least 640 and above, just so you can get a little bit better of a rate, and you can qualify for down payment assistance programs and or a conventional loan as well. Keys for that is going to be paying down debt, making sure your credit utilization is below 30% on credit cards, and then clearing any collections that you may have, clearing that up, and getting you, you know, on the path to shooting that credit score way up. Third step is going to be find you a mortgage lender. So you can do this by getting recommendations from a realtor like myself, or, you know, Google search, or getting recommendations from, other homeowners you may know, and finding you a mortgage lender that you would trust and be able to work with to get you pre-approved. They're usually going to ask you for about 2 years worth of work history, so your 2 years worth of W-2s. Sometimes they'll ask for tax returns, and then usually like 30 days worth of pay stubs. So this is kind of the bare minimum what you're going to need to do, plus the application to get pre-approved. But once you get pre-approved, then it's going to outline exactly how much home you could purchase, right? And you take that pre-approval to the next step, your realtor. Now, when you're searching for a realtor, if you're local, give me a shot. That goes without saying. Hey, I'm always up to, do a buyer consultation to see if, we could align and, build a great partnership. But if not, there's always good to, reach out to people and get their recommendations on realtors that they've used in the past or had good experiences with. Just make sure that you get someone that you can trust and who will go back for you and actually care about you. So with that, after you get to the realtor step, if you got a good one, they should take care of you the rest of the way. But there's a lot of other things that go into it, but that's how you get started at getting getting the purchase funnel, right? So that's how you get started there, and then from there you'll be on your way to purchase the home. But for now, that's a good start. And if you need anything, as always, I'm Ed Butler, Brookstone Realtors. My number and info will be down below. Feel free to reach out, shoot me an email, give me a text, whatever.